Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Upgraded Sets. Today we're going to be looking at a set which is a little odd. It does get parted out a lot, I feel like, very similarly to Orphan's Call, which also gets parted out. And what I mean by parted out is it's not really that great in, like, complete, like you know, most people don't wear all the pieces, but they do tend to wear, like, some of the pieces here and there. And we're going to talk about it together, and we're going to upgrade the pieces as well. So I hope you'll join me with that. Now, we have, first off, probably the most popular piece of this set, I think, which is the Laying of Hands Bramble Bits. The Laying of Hands Bramble Bits has 87 defense, 50 strength requirement, level 63. They have a 10% chance to cast level 3 Holy Bolt on striking, which is really low. And Holy Bolt only damages undead enemies, and it's really not a lot of damage. It's probably about like 50 damage or so. I could look it up real quick just to be sure, but it's actually probably less than 50 damage, my bad. So level 3 is 24 to 32 damage. And if you happen to hit one of your teammates with it, it'll heal them for 5 to 14 life. Not exactly the greatest ability in the world. We also have the 20% increased attack speed on here, which makes them relatively good gauntlets, gloves, for a melee or a ranged character. We also have 350% damage to demons, and it does not show up on the bar. 350% damage demons is going to function extremely similarly to the way that Might does, but only for demons. It does make these gloves really nice, though, because all of the act bosses are demons. Duriel is a demon, Diablo is a demon, Baal is a demon, Andoriel is a demon, and so forth and so on. So, you know, if you think about it that way, they have a really nice use, right? And 350% is a lot. It's the equivalent of something like a full concentration aura. It's going to give you basically the same amount of damage as like a full concentration aura versus demons. But keep in mind that it only affects physical damage, so it's not going to help you out with elemental damage. Like, for instance, if you were a Vengeance Paladin, it's not going to help you there. We also have plus 25 defense on these and a pretty massive, healthy chunk of 50% fire resistance, which could help you counter Andoriel's Visage, which has negative fire resistance. Consider that. We also have the Dark Adherent Dusk Shroud, which is 882 defense. It is 77 strength requirement at level 49. It has a 25% chance to cast level 3 Nova Windstruck, which I'm pretty sure only does like 20 damage as well. And we're going to double check that as well, though, just to be sure, because I want you guys to get the right numbers. Now, the Nova can be synergized, though, so if you are a sorceress and you were using these and you did have the synergies for Nova, which it does have some nice synergies now in 2.4, which is, we're on the public test realm for 2.4, by the way. So it only does, what is it, level 3, so it's 13 to 36 damage, which is relatively low, like I said. We get 24 to 34 poison damage on this over 2 seconds, which is not a lot for level 49. It's absolutely terrible. I don't know what it is about all the poison damage effects on items, but they're absolutely garbage. Especially they don't seem to be enough on level, and then even when you upgrade them, even when you use them later on, they're definitely not useful, because they weren't even useful when the item was brand new. So why would they be useful, you know, later on when you're like level 60 or something like that? They're terrible. They're 415 defense bonus on this thing, which is a flat bonus, which is why it has 882 defense in the first place, and it also has fire resistance of 24%. Which kind of noticing a theme here with 50% fire here and 24% fire here. It's almost like this was designed to fight Diablo or something. We have Telling of Beads Amulet, which is level 30 requirement, and it's actually kind of a nice amulet to find early on because it has +1 to all skills. It has 18% cold resistance, 50% poison resistance, and attacker takes damage of 10. So a nice +1 skill amulet with some resistances on it, and that's really all people use it for. We also have the Credendum Mithril Coil, which is 115 defense. It has full belt slots, of course, because it is a Mithril Coil. It has 106 strength requirement, which is kind of high, but not bad for 65. And it does have 50 defense, 10 to strength, 10 to dex, and all resistance is 15. Could be useful if you found this and you didn't have anything better, just as a plus strength plus a dex belt to help you out in your stat departments until you can find something better. The all resistance is 15, certainly doesn't hurt either. And then we also have Rite of Passage Demon Hide Boots, which is 60 defense, 20 strength, level 29. It has 30% faster run walk on it, which is certainly very nice for a pair of boots. 25 defense, 25 maximum stamina at level 29 might actually be helpful, and half freeze duration, which if you don't have Cannot Be Frozen, it's definitely going to be useful. But if you do have Cannot Be Frozen, it's not going to do you much good. We also have the set bonuses on this. So for 2 pieces of the set, you will get 150 defense, which is kind of nice. It's decent, especially at level 30. 150 defense is a lot. For 3 pieces, you get more poison damage. 22 poison damage. I don't know why they thought tiny, itty-bitty bits of poison damage would be a good thing. I mean, it's nothing. Like, comparatively to how much damage you are dealing around level 63 when you get these gloves, or 49 when you get the armor, it just doesn't make any sense. And then for the full bonus, we get, for 4 pieces, we don't get anything. I don't believe. Let me just double check. No, for 4 pieces, we get plus 10 strength. Never mind. They must have changed this a little bit from previous. So the 4-piece bonus is plus 10 strength, which might actually be. Well, let's play around with this, shall we? So let's pretend we were using the boots, the amulet, and the gloves. I mean, you get 10 strength here, you get another 10 strength, so that's 20 strength. It's not bad. I mean, it's not the greatest, but it's 20 strength from 4 pieces. 4 pieces is a lot. And then for the full bonus, we get plus 2 to all skills, 11 poison damage over 1 second. I don't even. Did it go down? It did go down. So it went from 22 poison damage over 3 seconds, and it changed to 11 poison damage over 1 second, which is double. I want to say that's double, because 22 over 3 is, if we divide that out into individual seconds, so 22 divided by 3, that's 7.33 in 1 second. So it upgraded from 7.33 in 1 second to 11 in 1 second. And if we multiply out 11 times 3, we end up with 33. So we went from 22 over 3 seconds to 33 over 3 seconds. I don't understand what they're thinking here. I mean, and of course that is going to add together with the 24 to 34 over 2 seconds for a little bit more. Did they really think that that poison damage was going to be useful at level 65 when you put on this full set? I gotta question some of these things sometimes. I really do, because they're terrible decisions. We also have 150 defense on this. We have the plus 10 strength, the 100 to mana, which is actually a lot of mana. Not at 65, but it is a lot of mana. And then all resistance is 50. So the main things that I'm looking at here is we get plus 3 to skills. So you get plus 1 from the amulet, you get plus 2 from the set, so plus 3 to skills. We also get a really nice bevy of resistances. We're looking at all resistances 50, and then they give us 50 fire, so that's 100 fire resistance. So we're definitely getting 100 fire resistance. And then we also get another 24% fire resistance here, so we're getting 124% fire resistance. Which is a lot of fire resistance. And then we also get 15 all res here, so we're getting a 139 139% fire resistance. That's a lot of fire resistance. And then we're also getting what is that? 113 minus 30. We're getting 83% cold resistance from the 18% on the amulet, and then the 50% on the item, and then the 15% that's coming from the all res. And then we also get, so 95 minus 30. We're getting 65% lightning. And 145 minus 30. We're getting 115% poison. There's a lot of resistances coming from this set. It's a little wonky. It's a little one-sided. There's not a lot of lightning and a lot of cold, but there's a ton of fire and a ton of poison resistance coming from this set. As far as resistances go, it's not terrible. And the only thing that I'm kind of worried about here is that it's not really giving anything that great. Like, the +3 to skills is nice, but you're giving up your body slot, your boot slot, your belt slot, and your gloves. You could be wearing a +2 armor and a +2 necklace, which would be +4, and you're only getting +2 for that. Sorry, +3 between those two items. You're also giving up your belt slot, which could potentially be a +1 belt if you have Arachnid's Mesh. So that's, 2, 4, and then 5. So the resistances are not bad, though. I'm actually kind of impressed with the resistances. Massive amount of fire resistance, massive amount of poison resistance. Not so great on the lightning, and the cold resistance is like okay-ish. Let me look at my bar here. This is hell difficulty with 30% scrolls. So with 30% scrolls, rocking only the 5-piece bonus, the 5-piece set, I'm sitting at 69% fire, -5% lightning, 13% cold, and 45% poison. And of course, this is missing our, usually your biggest resistance item, which is usually your shield. I think you could easily cap out that. I don't know. I still don't think it's a very good set, but it is interesting that it gives you +3 to all skills and some pretty decent resistances. It also gives you a little bit of strength too, but it sucks up the armor slot. So I don't know. All right, now let's go ahead and upgrade this set, and then we'll also talk about what it could be useful for. Right. So Laying of Hands, Bramble Mitts. I think this is probably going to be the best upgrade of the entire set because people love to work this into their build, and I think it's going to upgrade nicely. So let's go ahead and throw our Lem, our Co, and our Perfect Diamond in there. And it's going to go from 87 defense, 50 strength, level 63. Oh no, it doesn't upgrade. Never mind. So this is already a hell difficulty item. We also have the Dusk Shroud, which I'm pretty sure doesn't upgrade also, because it's also already a hell difficulty item. Sad. So we've got 2 items right here that are already hell difficulty. What about the Mithril Coil? Will this one upgrade? 115, 106, 65. Doesn't upgrade either. And then we have the Rite of Passage Boots, which is 60, 20, 29. And this one goes to 80, 50, 52. So the only item in the entire set that can actually be upgraded is the Rite of Passage Demon Hide Boots. It goes to the Rite of Passage Worm Hide Boots. Not exactly something I would spend lemon co's on, to be honest. And of course the amulet can't be upgraded. So what all could you use this set on? Well, the answer is probably nobody. At level 65, which is what it takes to complete the entire set, it's just not good enough to really be useful. +3 to skills is certainly nice, but putting together the entire set always seems to be very difficult. And by the time you have the entire set, you've got way better items to put in these slots. The 2-piece bonus, which is only 150 defense, just doesn't really seem worth it. The 3-piece bonus, which is poison damage, again, just doesn't really seem worth it. And the 4-piece bonus, which is +10 strength, might be worth it, but it's way too many pieces. And what it really comes down to is it's a set that seems to be centered around a melee character. So you would have to be like a paladin, a barbarian, a Amazon, some kind of character who's swinging a weapon or shooting a bow, maybe even a druid. And it gives you some generic stats, like, plus to skills, +3 to skills, and some pretty okay resistances. It's not going to cap you out in hell difficulty, but it's okay. I think the real thing that holds this set back is the high level requirement, because by the time you get to level 65, which is the requirement for the Mithril Coil, it's just too high. It's just too high of a set for what it gives you. Especially considering, you know, you can be using things like Verdungo's Hardy Cord, or you can be using a crafted pair of blood gauntlets with crushing blow on them, or you can be using a +2 Mara's or a High Lord's Wrath, or you can be using a Gore Riders or Goblin Toes, or you know, any other number of items here. You could also be, by the time you get to 49 to use this, you could be using a Treachery, you know. And that's really what it comes down to, is each one of these pieces may not be terrible, but by the time you can use them, it is terrible. The Amulet, honestly, seems to be one of the best pieces in the set because it's only level 30, and it's +1 with some decent resistances. The Laying of Hands Bramble Mitts gets used all the time because it has the 350% damage to demons and the really nice 50% fire resistance, along with the 20% increased attack speed. If you find yourself a piece of a Laying of Hands, hang on to them because they are actually kind of useful. If you find yourself the Telling of Beads Amulet, it's very useful for lower level characters to use until you get to a higher level character. The Rite of Passage Demon Hide Boots are not really that great, but they can certainly work in a pinch if you just don't have anything better. And the belt just seems to be specifically just a kind of generic stat belt. It gives you +10, strength and dex, and it also gives you +15 all res. And it could fill in if you didn't have anything better, but hopefully by the time you hit 65, you've got something better. And the armor does have kind of nice defense for 49, and if you happen to find it and you didn't have anything better, it can work as a good filler until you find something better, but it just doesn't really have very good stats on it overall. I don't know. All in all, I think this set is a miss. I'm not going to say it's a terrible set, because with +3 to skills and some pretty decent resistances, it's certainly nice, but it's too high level for what it gives you. And I'm doing a lot of hand gestures, because, you know, yeah. Well, guys and gals, tell me what you think down in the comments. I think I want to hear what you guys think of this set. What do you think it could be useful for? Do you think it's useful at all? Do you like using the gloves? Do you like using the amulet? What do you think about the belt as a stat belt? But, you know, the level requirement is kind of high, right? As always, thanks for watching, and keep watching.